Hello everyone, it's Mike Levin on February 9th, 2015 at around 9:15 a.m. and I am taking today as my last work from home day at Flying Point Digital in order to get Pipulate in working condition for the office. And as pumped as I am to work on the crawler that I've discussed on prior videos, Pipulate will be most useful if I have scheduling done. And I've already set up Pipulate hourly at gmail.com, weekly, monthly, so that all you have to do is invite in an email address and it'll start reprocessing the job on that interval. Now, thinking through scheduling, I realize that I have to enhance the behavior of trending, in that right now, each time you click the Pipulate bookmarklet, it looks for asterisks anywhere in row 2, and if it finds them, it goes and gets the whole stretch of rows that have asterisks, allowing 1 or 2 rows to be skipped for blanks to do some formatting. And then it replicates that range that it found at the bottom of the spreadsheet, replacing the asterisks with question marks, and then starts doing question mark replacement starting from the first row of its inserted range. Very efficient, but the flaw with this is that if you schedule it, say, hourly, and not all the question marks finish processing because of API flaws or anything, you're going to have a corrupt situation. And what trending should be able to do, the capability I'm going for today that makes it so elegant and useful, is that there is a trending interval, say daily, but a rate at which you are allowed to do question mark replacement, say every 10 minutes. So you'll get 6 processing cycles during the hour. And question marks should be allowed to be left behind, so that, say, you're trending 6 different metrics. That means you have rows 2 through 7 have asterisks in them. That's 6 lines that are going to be copied and pasted on each interval cycle, and 1 line that will get question mark replacement every 10 minutes. That way it's spaced out cleanly throughout the hour before another set of metrics are copied down the list, and it turns into something like a log file against which you can draw pivot tables. Very elegant for keeping metrics and then drawing trending lines with data from a pivot table. So after that first run, it copied and pasted the range of the 6 rows. It put the question marks in all 6 of those rows, but it only does question mark replacement on the first row, knowing that in 10 minutes it's going to do the next row, and in another 10 minutes the next row, and then pretty soon it'll have finished all 6 rows. You might need to have some buffer space in there in case there's API problems and a row doesn't get processed. Maybe a retry in a minute on each 10 minutes. But those are details I can work out as I'm implementing. And so that is the most important thing today. This trumps doing the crawl. Because when I demo Pipulate, they'll go, oh, so I'll be able to just keep running this? Do I have to come in and click the bookmarklet? And my response will be, no, just go and invite in or share into the document Pipulate hourly or daily or monthly. And I'll probably even do minutely or minutely. I like the double entendre, and that'll be very useful for testing and for demonstrating. Although, of course, minutely won't have these sub-increments. Although I might do a sub-increment for testing, so it processes. So I do the scenario I just described to you, but the minute becomes the outer increment, trending increment, And then the inner trending increment for line at a time processing would be like every 10 seconds. And that would work out perfectly to reproduce that scenario on a much smaller time scale. And I guess there's also the parameter in which you can tell it how many rows per inner cycle to process. That way you can have 12 rows, and on each minute or each hour, as the case may be, it goes and processes 2 of the rows. And in that way you can do things like search engine position monitoring without exceeding the quotas of the number of searches you can do from a particular machine in a given time frame. And then I am no longer in that annoying game of using web proxies and finding web proxies that still work. You just set up a different Pipulate server, set up a nice modest trending cycle, and you get position monitoring pretty reliably against a decent sized list without having to use Authority Labs or Bright Edge. Bam! Thanks for joining me. Talk to you soon, and don't forget to subscribe.